we're going to do a slate beforehand, and whatever space you're in, I want you to think about that. I don't want anybody to be sitting unless your part has you sitting. So if your scene has you sitting for some reason, cool. I want you to still, if it's possible in the space you're in, to stand up to do your slate, and then you'll go right into your monologue when you're ready. So I'll ask for a slate, then you'll do your monologue right after that when you're ready. Okay? That makes sense to everybody? I'm going to let you go all the way through, and then I'll sort of give little notes on it, and we can all learn from those notes and continue to grow as we go all the way through and do a wrap-up towards the end here. But basically, I want you to treat this like a video audition. So you've got the space. This is a space you have to work with. Take your time. Treat it like you've got into like a second stage, let's say, of an audition, and now you're actually auditioning via video with the client. Okay? All right, you guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Cool.
No.
All right.
I'm nervous.
Nervous. We can help with that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm set up right today.
Okay, what do you mean, Carol?
Well, I was using 2 devices last time, but my laptop is not connecting, so I'll just have the phone.
Have the phone?
I guess I could do it like this.
We can do it like this for the performance. So here's what else we can do.
So
you also go ahead,
here,
Joey.
Brian. Let me hop on for this just because I can explain it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Pretty easily, quickly. So if you go to the Deering Studio webpage link for this Monday script class, we now have the Zoom link and the live link there. So if Brian wants to start with you, you can perform first and then just hop over into that live link on the page, and we'll bring you in again through Zoom at the end.
Okay.
And Joey can help you with that at the end to get back over here also. So
okay,
you'll stay right where you are. I'm sending everybody else over to your seats, and let's grow, let's learn together, and let's have a great night.
Okay. So I should stand up and slate?
Yep, get standing up in position while I send everybody else out, and then I'll let you know when it's time to slate. Everybody else, you're going to be sent to your seats. Joey, this is a great time to just be Joey.
Now I'm working on the graphics that you can see that we added today. So I'm working on one for each of our new YouTube shows. And so if you check it out, here I'll flip myself to the program. So we got these, and they basically turn our YouTube into a TV screen. So that's pretty cool, because then we're branded, we love our clapper, and you can follow us, because right now we're trying to find ways to spread our light-driven content. We've been here spending like 10-hour, 14-hour days, just all of us as a team, trying to figure out how to get to the people who need us. So it's been a very eventful couple of weeks.
Woo! Thank you, Joey.
Of course, man.
All right, Carol, you ready?
I think I am.
Okay. So flip that. You are.
I am.
You are ready.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
I am ready.
Woo!
This is it.
Absolutely. Okay. Can I get a slate, please?
Hi.
Oh, sorry. I'll ask you first. Can I get a slate, please?
Yes. Hi, I'm Carol Bennett.
Okay, Carol, and whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and do that monologue for us.
Okay. I keep things in. Things, emotions, my emotions. I know that that's probably not a good thing. Life has made me this way, I guess. I have a tendency to show no emotion when I'm feeling emotion. I just have a hard time opening up to someone. I get closed off. I feel that by being emotional in front of someone kind of makes me very vulnerable and weak, and I have a hard time with that. You know, being in that state of vulnerability, it's not a place where I like to be, because I feel like I'm not in control. And when I'm not in control, I get anxiety. Whenever I truly loved someone and opened myself up to them, they have always stabbed me in the back. I have a hard time with that, trusting people. It could be anyone, friends, family, boyfriend. I'm not sure if I truly trust anyone in my life. It's sort of a protective shield I put up, and it only gets stronger with time. I do desire to be more vulnerable, but at the same time, I want to stay protected. I feel torn. Every time I take a risk, I get hurt. And I'm not sure I want to keep on taking those risks.
Scene. Awesome. How'd you feel?
Oh, thank you.
What was that? Thank God.
No, I said thank you.
Oh, okay. I was like, you're done with it. You should have enjoyed it. Okay. So, how'd it feel?
That's okay. Yeah, I felt like I was trying to change up my emotions. Like in the beginning, I felt like I was just trying to explain myself, and then I felt like I got a little upset in my own mind and started becoming vulnerable, which is a thing that I hate because I like being in control. Mm-hmm. So maybe kind of sad and messed up towards the end.
So tell me about, so you pulled when your vulnerability came in, it was hard to stay in it?
Yeah, well, I mean, mine as my character, yes, and okay. Just opening up.
Okay, tell me about the character work you've done.
Okay, so I just feel like she's a woman, in her 30s, and she's had, probably terrible upbringing. Like her parents ignored her, and she's had bad experiences with boyfriends, and she's kind of, thinks she knows it all. And in my mind, I'm talking to like her boyfriend, and he called her out on something, and she's trying to explain herself, but she gets pretty upset when she's trying to tell him, how she feels.
What is the why behind talking to him?
Why? Oh, because she wants to have a relationship, but she just finds it so difficult because she's, closed off all the time.
Have you mapped out what he says to you to get this conversation fueled?
It kind of just started in my head, like, what's your problem?
Okay.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, good. That's a good setting for that first part. What I want you to do, and I think it's going to help a lot, is build up just a little bit more before that. So I want you to write, even right before this turned into a fight.
Of course. Yeah,
so it may be a whole page. I don't know. Like, you'll figure that out. But there's something that really led it to this. Yes. That will help you really get into being able to be upset at him, upset at yourself, upset and then become vulnerable, become open to him, and explore all the different emotions that are inside of this piece. Okay? So that's one.
Yes.
And then the second part of this, I think these two backstory things are going to be huge for you. So you've decided the boyfriend is sort of your central, that's who I'm trying to fix things with right now. And be open with, I want to, right? You want to fix things.
Yes.
So with that, I want you to map out, and this is a cool exercise for everybody. Right now, Matt's doing the mornings with Matt, and I've been doing the teen talk at 2, where I do a similar thing with teenagers. So with what we're doing, one of the exercises we talk about is journaling. So do you journalize or journal personally, Carol?
No.
Okay. So
I don't.
I want you, I think it's an awesome thing, especially right now with everything that's going on, to start journaling our feelings and what's going on in this time. And I highly recommend everybody do that. But your homework is going to be to build that beginning. And I want you to journal as your character. And here's why. You're going to get the backstory of the boyfriend specifically. You get to do 7 journal entries, okay? one a day.
Okay.
They do not have to be 1 day into the next day. So I actually want you to think of different points in this character's life. So one journal entry may be the first time that they went out and went on a date. Another journal entry might be because she mentions family, a time when the family betrayed her and she journals about what that felt like. Another might be when she had a friend who betrayed them and what happened there and her experience with that. And then a few of them should be about the boyfriend and her connection to him, maybe one even on a past boyfriend. So you get to create 7 this week that are going to fuel this piece for you.
Love it.
Okay?
That's a great idea.
Cool. I cannot wait to see what that does for this piece. It's going to be so awesome.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Woo!
Thanks.
Okay. All right. Charlie is going to be
Back
our
to
next
me for a
performer.
sec. Oh,
Sorry. Go ahead, Joey.
all good. We're stepping on each other a little tonight. That's all good. We're getting used to this.
Yeah, it's new.
I was just going to say, I said this in the beginning, but I wasn't sure if everybody was in there, and he just mentioned it. So Scotty was on Mornings with Matt this morning, and it was a killer episode. I loved listening to it. It was honestly super motivational, but he and Scotty were talking about how Scotty makes motivational content on his story and stuff. And so go give him a follow, and remember to do that yourselves, guys, because during this time, as artists, we're able to really bring a light to the world. And I just admired watching his story and watching the show this morning, so check it out.
Awesome. Thank you, Joey. Thank you for mentioning that. And please check out all the stuff he is doing. Charlie, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, man. All right, let's get
you hear
ourselves
me?
in a place. Yeah, I can totally hear you. We're good. Woo!
All right, perfect. Cool. All right, you ready?
Yeah, let's start off in frame for your slate, and then you can do whatever you want, leaving or coming in or whatever. Okay?
Cool.
All right. 1 second here. Okay. Can I get a slate, please?
My name is Charlie Aronson.
Awesome, man. Whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and go to perform.
All right, cool. Thank you. Great moments are born from great opportunity. And that's what you have here tonight, boys. That's what you've earned here tonight. One game. We play them 10 times, they might win 9. But not this game. Not tonight. Tonight, we skate with them. Tonight, we stay with them. And we shut them down because we can. Tonight, we are the greatest hockey team in the world. You were born to be hockey players. Every one of you. And you were meant to be here tonight. This is your time. Their time is done. It's over. And I'm sick and tired of hearing about what a great hockey team the Soviets have. Screw them. This is your time. Now go out there and take it. See you.
All right, man. Okay, so I want to start off with this. We talked about a couple things the last month. One being body control, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How you feeling about that?
I feel like I was focusing a lot on like the hand movements, not keeping them behind my back the entire time, like last time,
Mm-hmm.
and as well as figuring out when it was good for me to like start walking. But I feel like the entire time I was just standing there because I feel like I got so far along into it that I was like, oh, I can't move now. Like I've already been standing here for the majority of it. I've already got their attention. I feel like if I start walking or pacing, it'll just be awkward.
Sure. Okay, cool. So first I want to start with the fact that before, and there were a couple times where it happened, but for the most part, you've gotten so much better at this. When we were starting to work on this, your movement in and out of frame was wild. You know,
Yeah, it was.
we're like going swaying left, right, left, right. So there were a couple moments where your body kind of swayed, but you've gained so much control over that. So much control. So it's exciting. It was exciting to see you start to move physically through your hands, and then your intentions and the things you were doing, we paid more attention to because of that. So we worked on the stillness. So that was a purposeful move because we earn different things. So you think about it this way, like when we walk into the gym, okay, you don't just get to pick up a 300-pound weight. Like, you're going to die. Like, you don't do that,
exactly.
right? You've got to start off with what you start off with, and you keep earning another weight. You earn another weight. So you're starting to earn now that you're getting body control, the ability to be able to move purposefully. And you'll feel when you get to move in certain ways. So we're getting to the place now where you could start to do that, and you should explore. But when you explore, here's how I want you to do it, because this is the medium now that we're using. Use it like this. Set up the camera, see what it looks, just flip it so you can see yourself, and see the amount of space you have. See what you have to work with. If I was to use this for an audition video for a director, then what do I have to work with space-wise, and practice that so you get used to when you can move somewhere, when you're in frame and out of frame. There may be a strategic point like you did where you enter into frame, right? So that might happen again. I don't know. Like, there's all kinds of things that could happen, okay? So first off, just wanted to say you've started to earn that now, so you can. Okay? And dealing with that, you've now got the intensity. You've got the I've got your attention. And that was what we were struggling with, right? So again, earning it, now that you've earned that and you've got that base level of this piece, the important intention that's underneath of inspiring them, now you've got to shake it up on us. Like, I need like rally room, you know? So he can start off and get their attention and do whatever he needs to do. But again, that's all about space exploration. Like, you could come over and do whatever. Like, I don't have too much movement here, but, like, I can do anything. Like, and one movement that may be like, you know what I'm saying? Right?
Yeah.
You know, like, you can go nuts, dude. You can go nuts. And I'm so sick of whatever. Like, you can do anything. Like, but it has to get shaken up in different areas because the emotion you're giving is really good, but it's stuck in that one spot. So without it being shaken up in different ways, you lose us because it's the same one. So now that you've earned it, now that you have the control, look for different ways. Honestly, if you were in that locker room trying to inspire these guys and you had to keep their attention because they're high schoolers who you can't keep their attention past 5 seconds, how are you going to do that and inspire them?
Gotcha.
Okay?
Makes sense.
Cool. Good work, man.
Cool. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Our next performer is going to be Saya. Once I get her over here. So the lesson there, while we're waiting for Saya's video to come over here, that we can all sort of learn from is all of our pieces. So his happens to be an inspiration piece. You cannot stick in one emotion. Like, you just can't. Vocally, emotionally, you have to continue to shake it up. So a good example of this is we were working on some thank you videos that we wanted to put out and really help some people with that. And Matt's just as hard on himself as he is on you guys working on stuff. And so one of the things that we were dealing with and struggling with was the emotion he was giving was great. It was so awesome. But through the piece, that emotion on one of our takes was like the same. So like it was very profound and very truthful, but it ended up being like the same note. And the idea is we want to bring something that is going to continue to shake up an audience and allow them to keep their attention while being truthful at the same time. Okay. Try one more time, and if that doesn't work, I'm going to go to another performer while we wait.
Brian, who are you trying to get in there?
Saya. It's okay. You can let her know. I'll bring her in next, and I'm going to go ahead and bring in Emily Barber.
Yep.
And her brother Sam. Well, it's really not letting me bring in anybody right now, is it? Hey, there she is.
Oh, no, that's Emily.
Yeah. Hello, Emily.
Yeah, I was like, aren't you guys looking for Saya?
We were, but Saya wasn't coming in, so I'm going to try Saya after this.
Okay. I was just like situating my camera, so give me 1 second.
No problem.
All right. This is like, I'm going to have to probably sit or like, because if I feel like, I don't know, is this okay?
Yeah, you can sit. That's fine. Because it's kind of out of frame.
Okay,
So just based on your framing, that's going, all right, my frame's not really working for that. So that's when you would adjust. So it's perfect.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, aren't you guys looking for Saya?
So make sure to mute that live.
Try Saya after this.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm
Awesome.
all set. I was like, my computer is being, it's like an older Mac, so it like lags every now and then, and I'm like, oh my gosh, no, not right now.
That's okay. All right, let's start off with a slate when you're ready.
All right. Hi, my name is Emily Barber.
Okay, Emily, whenever you're ready, you can do your piece.
So what made you do it? What enticed you to make me fall for you and go as far as making me believe that you're some godly man? Was it because I seemed easy? Was I appealing, or was it really because you wanted to know what I was like in bed? You never cared. I was the one who cared, and I was the one who fell hard. I believe this false persona you gave me, and you let me. You let me while you hid behind my back, rekindling your previous relationship. Oh, no, babe, she's just crazy. I want nothing to do with her. Silly me for listening to your words and not following your actions. I even opened up to you about the abuse I've been through. You praised me for my authenticity and how scummy those guys were, and yet you turned around and manipulated me into doing the same exact thing. You tore me down to the point that I questioned my worth, I questioned my ability, and I questioned my future. It felt like the fire in my soul just went numb. But I do have to thank you, because at the center of all this was God. Every time I cried into my prayers, he was there holding me. Every time I felt like giving up, he was the one that gave me strength. And every single time I cried out, why? Why do I need to go through this? Why do I feel this way? He reminded me that my pain is valid, my pain is temporary, and my pain will shape me. And although none of this was comfortable and everything just seemed questionable, I never lost my faith. And sadly, that's a concept that you can't seem to grasp. You see, I didn't act out of fear. I didn't run from my problems. I gave my vulnerability to my father, and he carried me even when I felt blind. I didn't lie about how I was doing. I didn't go back to what was comfortable because I knew beyond my fear was my growth. You say you're this godly man, yet you let everything on earth like fear you. You say that you have this big heart, yet you do things out of your own benefit. And honestly, at the end of the day, it's you who I feel sorry for. Because all while you were tarnishing my name, trying to make yourself look good, I was growing roots so that I can be planted with God now and forever. So when another person like you tries to stumble into my life, I won't budge. Go ahead and call me to question my worth over somebody who treated me like you did.
Good. How'd you feel?
Very nervous because to be deep, the person that I wrote this monologue about actually contacted me recently, and I actually got to release all of those emotions. So it's like releasing those emotions again. So it really like triggers a lot inside.
Okay.
So
How you
I'm good.
feeling?
I'm good. I cried a little bit. Well, I'm good.
Okay. That's okay. That's okay. So, you wrote this piece for a purpose, right? Tell me about that.
So my purpose was, and this could honestly go on with everything going on in the world right now, is sometimes like your biggest ruts where you feel like, I don't know, like when I went through this breakup, I literally felt like it was the end of the world. I felt like I found my person. That was like the end game for me. And then when everything like hit the fan and everything on all the truth came out, it hurts. It really hurts. Like I had never felt the feeling of heartbreak before. And I feel like I just want people to know, like, whatever your heartbreak is, if it's like losing a loved one or like a breakup or something like that, like there's so much more beyond like your purpose. And so that's why I want to like sit here and like be vulnerable and be honest about every emotion I was feeling and how horrible I felt, but how I conquered it and I came out on top, because at the end of the day, I just want to be a vessel that God can live in. And I feel like that's something that I can like establish out.
Yeah. It's super powerful. Super powerful.
Thank you.
And that's an amazing mission, to take this and to take every piece you do and decide that it's not going to be about me, about what I want to do and my journey, but your journey through me, right? And so that's why this piece is so powerful. It really is. And so I could definitely feel some of that. The emotional core of the pain in this piece was very powerful this time, like very powerful. And like I said, that probably came from being able to confront this person and get it out. There's something to just getting to release, to just be honest and release. And it's hard, and you can't do it till you're ready. It's the truth. But there's something to it. And so I encourage anybody to find a way to be able to do that. I know, like, when I got divorced, after, it took a long time. And in my situation, there was a lot of struggle, and it wasn't a choice that I wanted to make. So there was a lot of bitterness and anger that other direction, and I still was very loving and caring. But then at some point, I took accountability for some of the stuff that I was at that point that I'm no longer. Drinking, alcoholism, things like that being a part of it. Doesn't mean I should have been treated the way I was being treated. But eventually I did what you did in this monologue and was able to just come out and go like, hey, like, that sucks. And you were rude and terrible and mean. However, like, I understand I was where I was and I have God, and like, I'm sorry, and I hope that you find this. I hope that you find this. And so that part of this piece was so powerful. And so for the monologue itself now, what we need to explore is some of the other feelings that can't help but creep in when that happens. Okay? So there was that pain core was there, but there's like this, you won't help but be able to, and I think you even wrote some in there, where the anger will pop in a little bit. Not that you're going to like scream at them or like get crazy upset, but there's going to be moments where, same thing we talked about in Charlie's, it's going to shift a little.
Yeah, it is going to shift.
And you're
That's
the.
one
Go ahead.
Okay, that was one thing that I was trying to like figure out like the past couple days was like how can, because I feel like when I was doing it at the studio, it was more like almost sadness throughout the entire time, and I wanted to make it like where there were those moments where like, you know, I like scoff at like the fact that like I even like believed him, or like the parts where I thought of how like I did get angry at some point. So
And you got to confront him for real.
yeah.
Do you mind if I ask what that looked like?
It was interesting. I basically, so it was a month, so it's like it's really bad. So it all started a month ago because I like haven't heard him at all because he changed his phone number, and basically he just called me on this random phone number, and I ignored him, and then I like finally answered, and he just was like, I'm really sorry, I feel like you deserve an explanation why I left. I'm really unhappy, I miss you. And I was like, no, like that's not, you don't get to come back when it's convenient to you, like that's not fair, like you don't know what I went through to be where I'm at. And so I basically like this, like the short version of my monologue, or maybe the long version of my monologue, I don't know, but I did like kindly like address like, you know what, you can't just come back in my life, like that's not okay.
I know.
And it was really hard. And then like,
go ahead.
What'd you say?
Go ahead. Sorry.
And then it was like 2 days later, he texted me on 2 different phone numbers saying that if I ever wanted to get back together, that he'd run full swing with it. And I blocked both those numbers. And then a week ago, he left me a voicemail, because apparently if you block a phone number, they can still leave voicemails. So he left me 2 voicemails saying like, hey, with everything going on, I just couldn't help but think about you. I hope you're doing okay. I really miss you. And he's engaged to this girl that he left me for, by the way. So it's like, I'm not responsible for this. So I had called him back, and I was like, look, like I was like, I don't want to hear from you anymore. I don't deserve to hear from you anymore. Like I moved on with my life. Like you made this decision. Like I'm trying to move forward. Just because you can't move forward and you took steps back because that's what you chose to do, I don't have to deal with it. So it was a lot to deal with.
Good. Hey. So the reason I brought that up is going back into that conversation, even just recalling it right now, you had several points where you were like, look, when you were talking about that and the way you spoke to it. So that is the point I'm speaking on. There's going to be a bunch of moments like that where you're like, you're laying down the law. You know, you're laying down the law in the way that you had to with the voicemail thing. Like, hey, it ain't okay what you're doing. Yeah. Stop it. And then there's going to be other moments where you talk about your Heavenly Father and the joy that you feel and the reason that you're able to move on. You're sharing that joy with him. And there's going to be others where your pain is coming through. I'm feeling the pain. I'm feeling pieces of the joy. That snappy, like, moments of weakness, human weakness / having to defend and go, no, like, not okay. Like, hey, so in that same way, imagine in this conversation that he's doing the same thing that he did on the phone. That it's like, hey, no, get back together. You find the points where those are. You wrote this. You are the master architect of this piece. So figure out where those are, and it's going to bring so much more power to it. And again, thank you for choosing something from your life and having the decision to go, I'm going to use my craft to glorify God. I highly, highly, highly respect that, and keep it up, because God will use you to do great things. It's what we were created for. So he will use you if you are open to it in this craft in ways that you never imagined. So that may be on the huge big screen, we don't know, or be open to whatever path he ends up leading you down. You may end up doing something that just affects one person, and that's all it takes. So do it one person at a time. Keep pursuing God through this piece, and you're going to do some amazing things.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for your honesty and your vulnerability. You're awesome.
Thank you. You're awesome.
Okay, we're gonna try again, see if we can get Saya back. We gonna try. Oh, hers is coming in. Just don't have video. Don't have video. Don't have video. Turning that into a song.
Okay, I can see her.
You can, huh?
Yep.
Well, hold on. I sure can't.
Well, she just went out. Let me turn her video. Ask to start video.
Hey, there she is. Saya!
There she
Air
is.
hugs.
Ah, man, I live out in the middle of nowhere, so the internet sometimes.
You live in
do you,
Awatuki too?
Saya?
You live in Awatuki also?
I live.
No, she lives on Joe Max Road.
That-
I'm so sorry. I just said oh my gosh. I'm so sorry.
That is crazy far. No, it's
I am
far. She's
so
over
sorry.
in the
No, but
CCV
she
world.
does live really far, and I know someone who lives on that road, and it is out there.
Get out there.
So
Yeah, it's pretty out in the middle of nowhere.
All right, you
okay,
ready?
Saya, me and you, sisters forever. Okay.
Woo. Give me 1 second.
Ready for me?
You're still here, Shay.
Well, excuse me for just wanting to be a part of this circle. Goodbye.
She's great.
That's such a pretty picture of Shay.
Isn't it?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, very.
Do you have room to move, or you want to do your slate from there?
I can do my slate standing, but I thought like showing my face for the slate would be good.
Okay, let's do it right here then.
Okay. Hi, my name is Saya Luke.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
I do not know one of my sex. No woman's face. Remember. Save from my glass mine own. Nor have I seen more that I may call men. You, good friend. And my dearest father. How features are broad, I'm skilless of. But by my modesty, the jewel in my dower, I would not wish any companion in the world but you. Nor can imagination form a shape besides yourself to like a. But I prattle something too wildly, and my father's precepts I there do forget. See.
Woo! Okay, girl, you went to work, huh?
Yeah, I tried my best.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I practice using the room a little more, and it is a little bit awkward for me, I will have to admit. You know, just it's out of my comfort zone using the whole space to get a guy to like me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of weird for me, but I really tried, and I still felt like awkward doing it just now, but yeah, so.
It's okay. You will feel awkward for a while. Okay. And so we look at it this way, like anything. You do it, and then you keep doing it, and then you keep doing it. And the more that you do it, the more comfortable you become with it.
Yeah.
It's really like anything. So Joey's over there, and he's probably going to do some commentary on this afterwards. But he was in masterclass a while back, and we know the BB kiss, right? So he was in that scene. You remember that?
Yes.
That was incredibly awkward. Incredibly awkward for him and for all of us in the room. But it was so powerful that he was willing to push through that and grow through that.
Yeah.
And having to do that again, if he has another scene where that's the case, it's not going to be that way anymore. But he had to work through having to do something different that he's not done in life and bring it to the stage and make it natural. And then it took over and over and over practicing, and then it became more natural. So in that same way, if you look back weeks and weeks ago, like, you're finding it. The first week it was like, okay, go explore, you know? It was like, okay, you know, like just barely moving. Like this time you found the slowness, you found just different areas to move to. Like you went and touched the lamp. Like there were so many things you did to shake up the energy and to bring in that flirtiness that we were trying to bring to this piece. I believe you found that, okay? You've started to really find that.
Yeah.
So now that that's the case, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I feel like for me, like I really worked hard in it and stuff, but I feel like I was, you know, I have a hard time with the monologues, especially with this type of monologue, because it's so much easier, you know, to talk to someone in a scene, like having a scene partner there and just being able to react off of what they're doing. And I try to imagine, you know, them there, like make up a guy like Brad Pitt standing over there or something. But, you know, it's just not the same. So I've been really trying to work on visualizing their reactions to what I'm doing and, you know, visualizing how I would feed off of what they react to. And it's just hard, you know?
It's super challenging. So one of the cool things about monologues is that if you can really learn to do that, then once you have a scene partner, you're going to be so much better. Because you're going to know how to create all this stuff regardless of whether or not the person opposite you gives you that. And you've been lucky enough, you know, in lots of scenes that we performed here and done to be opposite great actors. That won't always be the case.
Yeah.
You will be opposite people who give you nothing. Who do not give you the emotions that you know are right for the piece, and you still on your end will have to create all of the emotions that you know the character needs to experience in this scene, even though the person speaking to you opposite you, experiencing it opposite with you, is not giving that to you. And so if you can approach monologues going, hey, I want to learn it so that I can take it into this other skill and be able to, no matter who's opposite me, no matter what's going on, I can create the emotion that I know this piece needs and deserves. Then you're going to be able to find some of those things. The other thing, because you enjoy scenes so much, I know that you connect to other actors and you have other ones at the studio that you talk with. Here's another way to do this. Have you written this out as a scene yet?
No. Well, actually, it is a scene. It's just like her, like I know the response, or I know what he says beforehand, and I know what he says after.
Does he say
so it
anything
is kind
during?
of already.
Does he say anything during?
No.
Okay. So I want you to rewrite this piece a little bit in your mind to see all the nonverbals that you think he gives you to be little lines.
That's really good.
To be actual lines. Because then you'll be able to hear them, see them, experience them. And then if you want to take that to another level, just to get a feel for it, a practice, you won't again have this when you go to perform. You get another actor to read those other lines as if it were a scene. Somebody you know can help fuel some of that for you. And experiencing it. If you can, that takes it to another level. Then, and this is where I'm going to want to get you to, okay? It's so cool.
Okay.
Then you want to take all of it away, and we want to keep all this, and we want to be able to bring all that energy this piece needs and be able to speed it up now that we know where all the emotions are. Because some of the pauses were needed right now for you to get into each emotional state you have to jump into. But as a piece, it wasn't shaky enough to like keep my attention.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So do some of that. I think that's going to help you with being able to really connect to it more, and then you'll be able to speed it up in a way where all those emotions are still there, they're still truthful, but they just come quicker.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thank you so much, Brian. That's awesome. That's like so exciting to me. I love that.
You're welcome. I cannot wait to hear about it next week.
Thank you. Happy birthday, Brian.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Okay. Next up, we've got Alicia. I'm going to bring in Alicia. Joey, you got anything to say about that masterclass stuff?
No thanks.
You plead the fifth on that one?
I do plead the fifth. It was a good lesson, but glad it's over.
That's how we grow, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about that thing.
Joey loves when we bring it up, clearly.
And it was the one time that my dad came to watch a performance too.
Oh yeah, that's a whole nother part of the story.
Like the one time he came to masterclass. I mean, he comes to most of my performances, but.
All right, Alicia, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Awesome. Okay. So whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and give me a slate and then go right into your piece.
Okay. Hi, I'm Alicia Wahid. Well, let me tell you something, funny boy. That stamp.
Hold on, you froze on me.
Anything to you? Okay. Should I start?
Yeah, let's start it over. Are you on Wi-Fi or are you on your phone?
I think I'm on Wi-Fi. I can turn it off.
Yeah, see if you can try the other way and see if that helps.
Okay.
I'll bring your video back. Still there?
Yeah.
Ah, much better.
Okay.
Okay. Whenever you're ready, you can start again.
Okay. Hi, I'm Alicia Wahid. Well, let me tell you something, funny boy. You know that stamp? The one that says New York Public Library? Well, that may not mean anything to you. That means a lot to me. One whole hell of a lot. Sure, go ahead, laugh if you want to. I've seen your type before. Flashy, making the scene, flaunting convention. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. What's this girl making such a big fuss of old library books for? Let me give you a hint, buddy. Maybe we can live in a world without libraries, people like you and me. Maybe. Sure, we can't change the world. What about that kid sitting down, opening a book right now in a branch at the local library, finding drawings of pee-pees and wee-wees on the Cat in the Hat and the 5 Chinese brothers? Doesn't he deserve better? Look, if you think this is about overdue fines and missing books, you better think again. This is about that kid's right to read a book without getting his mind warped. Or maybe that turns you on, Seinfeld. Maybe that's how you get your kicks. You and your good time buddies. Well, I got a flash for you, Joy Boy. Party time is over. You've got 7 days, Seinfeld. That is 1 week.
All right. Okay. So, a couple weeks ago, our main thing was to start working on the beats and playing into different emotions inside of this, right? So tell me
Yes.
about the work you've done with that.
I think just like visualizing more throughout it, and also trying to separate it from the original in my mind since I've seen it so many times, and just bringing it to my own interpretation of it.
So what have you done to start doing that?
I've tried to like substitute in things to different lines to kind of help me with that, like to make it vary throughout.
Mm-hmm. So I'll tell you what I can see above everything. I can see the passion. So you found sort of the passion that this character has for the library. And we talked about, finding that because you don't care about the library the way that this character does, but you care about other things. So the substitution on that end was there. Okay. So who have you visualized in your mind that you're speaking to?
Have not done that.
That's what's missing. So seeing the way that they're responding is what's going to fuel you to do more than just passionate sort of anger. Seeing the way that they continue to react to the things you're saying will do that. So there's points like, I've seen your type flashy. What is the other ones? Flashy,
making the scene, flaunting convention.
Okay, what do those things mean?
Just like they don't really care about anything. It's all a big joke to them. They just want the attention.
Yes, and each one of those words is sort of different in the same category, but different. Flashy. What does it mean to be flashy?
Like exaggerating everything.
So you started physicalize there, right? So inside of your character, you are making fun of him. I've seen you type before. Flashy, unconventional, dumb. Like, I don't like whatever. Like, you come up with these, whatever these things are in that spot. That's a great point to like change up the energy a little bit because you are literally talking about him and the way he is. His type, not the library. So it depends on what you're talking about. Are you talking about the kid in the library that has to pick up that book? Because in that point, yeah, you could continue to be upset. Or honestly, you could look at a little kid who's trying to grow and learn, and they can't because of what this person's doing. And try and help them understand emotionally that that's the case and appeal to them in a different way. So think of it this way. If I want something from you and I continue to try the same approach to get it, anger, I'm never going to get it from you. You're not going to listen to me. You're just going to be upset about me. So yes, I can be passionate about the change here, passionate about getting what I want and trying to get you to understand my perspective. And like I said in Emily's, you will get upset at points. However, if you stay in that state, there's no way Seinfeld's going to listen to you. There's no way you're going to get your want. And as an audience, you're going to lose us because you're staying in the same emotional state. Okay? So explore some of that this week. Find some of those things and figure out exactly who you're talking to. Who can you visualize that's flashy and those other things that wouldn't care about, and doesn't have to be library, that would about something act like they don't care at all. Okay?
All right.
Awesome. Nice work.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, we're going to bring in Olivia next. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
What the hell? Okay.
See, I felt like that could have been part of a monologue.
I'm trying to get the live thing to stop talking. There we go. Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we have space,
So
or
we're
you
starting
want to
with-
do? Yeah, we'll do Slate first. Do you want to do it from there?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do Slate, and then we'll do our piece right from there. Okay.
Hi, my name is Olivia Kelly. I have to tell you something, because if I don't, I'm going to burst into flames. You are cheese. You are so cheese. The cheesiest cheese I have ever met in my life. You are so cheese that it drips out of your pores and stinks up any room you walk into. Every damn idea you have is piggybacking off of someone else. You are the definition of a copycat who rides the coattails of others. You have absolutely no inventive ideas of your own. You give nothing. Nothing innovative or exciting or helpful to others. When you try, it's usually served like one great platter of rotting cheese, because the circuitry in your brain is wired to cough and be foggy from all the cobwebs built up over the years from stealing. We want ideas that feel big, huge, different. I want you to bring me something that is real. I need some truth. I need all the cheese to die, and I want you to throw some real shit in my face. I want to feel it. I am so sick and tired of the fake bullshit I see every single day of my life working in this world that I'm going to throw myself right out that window and fall to my death if you don't change. I need you to save my life. Save me. I need oxygen. Oxygen. Do you hear me? Tomorrow at noon, we'll reconvene here. And then we'll see if you brought something with passion. I don't want theatrical. I want passion. I want soul-wrenching, gut-pounding, mind-bending anxiety. I want a rupture. That's right. Tomorrow. Or die. We all die. This meeting's dismissed. End scene.
Awesome. Oh, where'd you go?
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. Good. We got all the way through it. So, how'd it feel?
It felt good. I'm like really working on like trying to play the pauses.
Yes, we talked a lot about that. So especially the first half, because that's what we've been working more than anything else.
Yeah.
I could feel that. Felt her start to shift into different parts. So remind me one more time of who specifically she's speaking to.
A friend.
A friend. Okay.
Friend that she works with her, but she's like her friend.
Are there parts where she gets to like an 8 or a 10? Emotional.
Like on like emotional?
Whether it's
yeah.
anger or whatever. Okay. So what
I wouldn't say it's so much anger. It's definitely, it blurs the lines between anger and like sadness, kind of. Like it's passionate.
Yes, totally. And so in the beginning especially, you played some really great beats, okay? So now that we're going, I want you to put some more punch into this, okay? When we started out, we had a lot of punch in the beginning, and we had to soften some of that up, and you have, and I want to keep that. But as you keep building, there'll be moments where you get crazy passionate. Like there was one, like towards the end where you start listing the stuff off. I don't want this. I want that. I want gut wrenching. She's, again, those things she's all coming up with right then from a passion place. I want you to attack it with passion. I want you to, and this has sort of been a theme tonight. Now we've all gotten to a place where we've gotten to earn it now. I want you to shake it up in that room. When you feel like she's experiencing something, I want you to push it a little further than you think you need to.
Okay.
And I want you to see what that does for you. Because there were a lot of moments, I think I see all the right stuff in here. I just want to see it heightened a little more.
Like in certain parts.
Yes. And I think you started to feel where some of those are because you would start to build up a little bit, especially in the second half. So again, that first half really connected, a lot of listening, and I really felt like you were speaking to somebody and that you were upset about the cheese line, like we pulled that off. So once she starts to go then and starts to rant, I need to see you rant. Like you were up so you could move even. Like you don't need to get stuck in that spot. Like you might just pace for a second in a moment because you're just thinking. Like you are experiencing this the way that she would right there in that moment. Okay?
Right. Yeah.
Cool. Let's see what that does for you.
Okay. Do it again?
We'll do it next week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we got all the way through. That's a big thing for today was to do that, take some of this critique, and next week we're going to go through, and I'm literally going to help you. You take this, see what you can do with it, and taking this same direction, whatever you bring next week, I'm going to stop and go throughout, and we're going to really just build on what we talked about today.
Great.
Okay.
I can't wait.
Oh, me too. Exciting. Woo! Thank you. Okay. Next up, we've got Monica and Brianna.
Hey. And taking the same
girls. You want to shut off the live there for a second?
Yep.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Got it all taken care of. Everyone's good. Happy birthday. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Another.
So we will go through and hold on, let me fix this. Perfect. All right. So I'll just have one of you go since we're in here. Go full all the way through. Okay. I'll give a little feedback and then I'll have the other person go. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Of course.
Okay.
That's fine.
There we go. Perfectly out of frame. Okay. You can give me a slate whenever you're ready.
Hello, my name is Brianna Fogelson. I'm 18 years old, and I'm represented by Danny's agency. Hi, hello. I'm Mia. It stopped raining out here. I'm really no good at speech making. Normally, I just get so nervous that I faint or I vomit, or sometimes I even get sick. But you really didn't need to know that. But I'm not so afraid anymore. You see, my father helped me. Earlier this evening, I had every intention of giving up my claim to the throne, and my mother helped me by telling me it was going to be okay and by supporting me like she has my entire life. But then I wondered how I feel after abdicating my role as Princess of Genovia. Would I feel relieved or would I feel sad? And then I realized how many stupid times a day I use the word I. And probably all I ever do is use the word I. And how lame is that when there's like 7 other billion people in the world? I'm going a little too fast. But if I thought about the 7 other billion people instead of just me, that's probably a much better use of my time. See, if I were Princess of Genovia, then my thoughts and the thoughts of people smarter than me would be much better heard. And just maybe those thoughts could turn into actions. So this morning when I woke up, I was Mia Thermopolis. But now I choose to be, forevermore, Amelia Miguanette Thermopolis Rinaldi, Princess of Genovia.
Okay, good. All right. So here's the stuff I want to work on. Number 1, with that fast part, better with the diction. So that was our critique 2 weeks ago, remember? We wanted to speed through that spot, but still have diction. I heard every single word. So good work on that, okay? So my main thing is now I want to work on expressing, especially after that line to the end, the inspirational part of this. You're speaking, so I know that you've had a past and had struggles with self-consciousness, and all of us have, right? So you're talking to, imagine this, as we get towards the second half especially, and she starts to find her confidence. You're speaking to the younger version of you, and inspiring her and letting her know, hey, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Like, hey, I was this way. I am still awkward. I am still struggling through this, but I am worthy. And so the passion side of that, I want you to tap into that. And I think just sort of imagining her and you're speaking to younger girls everywhere who need to hear this message. That yesterday I was this, and I made a decision. I made a choice that no longer am I going to be that way. And so that is the case. I am now, and I cannot say the name, but I am now that.
Yeah.
So I was this, I am that. It was my choice, and you have the choice too. That's what she's saying. So wrap your mind around that. Do some journaling. Go even to your past self. Write to your past self. And if you could tell her some things to help her see where you are now and bring confidence to her, that's what this speech is. Okay?
So journal and then write to past self.
Journal and what?
Write to past self?
Yes. Yes. Your goal is to inspire in that way, the way that basically anybody can do anything if they choose to. If they, it's simply a choice. It's as simple as that. It's hard. It's this most simple, hard thing. And like, there's not many things that are simple and hard at the same time. This is one of them. You make the choice. It's that simple, but making the choice is hard.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Woo.
Monica, it's your turn.
All right, get Monica up there.
Woo! Yeah!
All right.
Woo! There we go.
Okay, whenever you're ready, you can give me a slate and go into your monologue.
Hi, my name is Monica Fogelson. Yes. Do you feel that? That's emotion. Has anyone ever told you how Tommy died? We were married for 3 years and 5 days, and I loved him. But for the last couple months, I just wasn't into sex at all. I just felt like we were so different, and I was depressed. Some of that's just me. Some of it was he wanted me to have kids. I have a hard enough time taking care of myself. I don't think that makes me a criminal. Anyway, one night after dinner, he drove to Victoria's Secret at King of Prussia Mall to get some lingerie to get something going. And on the way back, he stopped on the 76 to help a guy with a flat tire, and he got hit by a car and killed. The Victoria's Secret box was still in the front seat. That's a feeling.
Scene. Oh, wow. So just getting excited. That's the beauty of being in lockdown with family.
Oh, that's great.
I was very happy. How are you feeling?
Better.
Yes, there was a lot of growth, a lot of growth. So tell me about the work you did this week.
I really was focusing on, so like in the beginning I was thinking about what it was like when when she opened the door, like expecting her husband to come home, and it was cops telling her that he died. And like that's just like shock. And I think she's talking about this from a place where the shock has like begun to wear off, I mean. So now she just deals every day waking up and he's not there.
Yes.
Seeing all of his things and he's not wearing them. And just him always being there, but she can never see him again.
So that's,
and that could take a new experience with it.
That's awesome. I totally felt that. So your patience this time was so much better. You've grown in that like crazy. Okay. So now all that emotion that's underneath, the next step in this piece is allowing it to get released at some point.
Yeah. So
somewhere towards that ending, there'll be that, and it was barely there, but I know that you can get to a place if you let yourself, and it's hard because we have to go into the deep version of ourselves and let somebody else see that side of you. You have to be willing to be vulnerable. You have to be willing to, as an actress, tap into your instrument, which is you and your emotions, and let those out completely. Because you were there, you were like right there, and then you didn't want to release it. Because you feel that?
Yeah.
So especially, and it was towards the end. So I want to challenge you to do some emotion work. Tap into you and how you can use your instrument, your past, your struggles, to use this piece as a healing mechanism for yourself and for others out there who've had pain. Because it was right there. It was there in your eyes, and we felt it, and we didn't quite release it there at the end. And again, these pieces aren't about the piece itself. It's about you growing as a human being. So I want that for you. Piece is great. It's awesome. That's awesome. But I don't care about that. I care about teaching you to be able to emotionally release that when you're experiencing it.
Okay.
So that's what I want you to work this week, and we're going to really, really hit on that next week, okay?
Okay, cool.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Nice work.
Thanks.
Okay, we've got Scotty coming up next. Mr. Scotty. Mornings with Nat Scotty. Yo.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
How's it going?
It's great, man.
Good. Bro, I gotta give a shout out to Joey, man. How much you guys paying that kid to say all these nice things about me?
Whatever.
Gosh. And happy birthday, by the way.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Feels good to be 21, right?
That's okay. You're just flattering now. That's all you're doing. All right, man. Whenever you're ready, you can do your slate and your monologue.
Do it, man. Hi, I'm Scotty Scheller. I'd only been attending that school for about a month when it happened. I didn't really have any friends. Most of my time in the library alone. And that's where I was when it happened. I heard this weird sound coming from out in the hallways. It was screaming, followed by gunshots. And I panicked, of course. And that's when I saw a guy I'd never met before. I'd never even seen him. He was hiding behind one of the computer tables. And it was weird. In a moment of chaos, it was like everything stood still for a second. I got to really look at him in his eyes. And they're this incredible, incredible shade of blue. They were so bright, full of life. And he gave me that timid smile, you know, that kind of smile that it makes you feel like no matter what's going on around you, you're safe. And that moment was silenced by some more gunshots coming down the hall. And he put his hand on my shoulder and he said, "Hey, you know, everything's gonna be okay. We're gonna be fine." And that's when the doors burst open. I closed my eyes as tight as I possibly could. And I just kept praying that everything would come to an end. And those prayers were silenced by the sound of more gunshots. Only this time it was a little different because I felt this weird pain in my leg, and it was something I hadn't felt before, and it took me a second to realize what had happened. And when I looked down, it was just blood. And I looked at the boy with the blue eyes. He was holding his stomach. He was bleeding too. And he was on his hands and knees, and he was begging with the shooters, and he was pleading for his life. And I just kept thinking, maybe there's something I could say in this moment that's going to save this kid's life in this moment, you know? But I couldn't even put a thought together when they I can still see it. There was so much blood. And I reached over and I grabbed his hand. And it was still warm. But those eyes, those deep, deep blue eyes, they were different now. They were empty. And I passed out after that. And when I came to, I was surrounded by cops and paramedics. And I can still hear those sirens ringing in my head sitting here. And through all this, all that kept going through my head was, why does this have to happen? Why am I alive? Why isn't he? He had a family. He had a future. He had a life. I always wished my life was different. I always wished something so big would happen. It would change my life forever. You got to be careful what you wish for. Scene. Oh.
Man. Okay, we're going to talk about this. And for everybody, we're going to go about 15 minutes over. Just apologize about that. Dude.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's not you. That's me, man. So we talked 2 weeks ago about the power of letting the emotion out, of experiencing it. The week before that, Matt talked about keeping your head up. And so earlier in the night, we talked about how we earn sort of the next level of each thing. And what started to happen was you took that direction. You took Matt's and you looked up. You took mine and let yourself start to feel. And so it's gut-wrenching. Gut-wrenchingly powerful. Let me ask you something. Did you feel like you had to try in this piece?
Not at all. No. No, there's literally like every day for the past 2 weeks, I've taken like 15 minutes to like relive and like let myself get to that point, and like almost making myself sick, like sitting there and like feeling it and letting it go and just letting things come and letting things just like letting it come and then just letting it out and letting it go. And I do that every single day. And it's just it's helping to cope with it. I'm finding the emotions, and it's just you don't want to say that there's power in pain, but there 100% is.
There,
and it's just, and it's just one of those things that you just kind of, it's a memory and it's a past for me, and so I just have to sit with it and let it relive itself, and then move on.
Yeah. Well, Scotty, thank you. Thank you for doing that, because it's powerful for you. It's going to be soul like power. You're going to grow because you're going to, again, be able to release that bit by bit. But what you also do is you give an audience a chance to release what they have going on. They may not have been through this situation, but we've all experienced heartache. We've all experienced pain. We've all experienced a lot of the things that are inside of this piece. And so you don't have to be in this situation to be impacted by watching somebody go through something and be as truthful as you were tonight. So I'm going to work on some more growth moments we can have. But honestly, for tonight, I got to celebrate the growth. Got to go, way to go. And the lesson for everybody is you talked about it. It was work. You made a decision every day you were going to spend 15 minutes tapping into something that was really challenging and hard for you. And you grew through it. And it was clear. It was clear as day, the growth today. And you impacted me. I guarantee you impacted your classmates. Because when someone gets emotional and truthful, we cannot help but feel and experience it with you. So thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Now do something silly.
Thank you.
So that you end.
Oh no, yeah, I got Tommy Boy queued up. We're good.
All right, we're good with Tommy Boy. Love it.
Oh yeah, we're chilling. We'll be fine. We'll be good.
Nice work tonight, Scotty. You the man.
Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good work.
Thanks, man.
All right, gonna bring in Amanda. To close out our class. And then we will all come together one more time to say farewell and wrap it up. Hello.
Hi.
Okay. Whenever you're ready. What's that?
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I'm so happy I get to spend it with all of you.
Yay. Okay. Ready?
Mm-hmm. Whenever you're ready.
Hi, my name is Maya Prisca. Just once, I would like to see you clean up the refrigerator, Mara. Unbelievable. You think you would have some freaking decency? Why do I always have to do it? It's like you don't care. You simply don't care if we have people over and they look into our fridge. It's disgusting. You're the one who always spills out the iced tea or the soda. You're the one who loves keeping food wrapped up until it becomes moldy. Just once, I would like to see you clean up the refrigerator. Are you waiting for it to get up and walk itself out of the refrigerator? Are you? Really? Am I the only one who's responsible enough to take a minute out of my day and clean up once in a while? Look at this stuff. Look at this. Macaroni and cheese that has been in here 3 macaroni and cheeses ago. No wonder we don't have enough bowls and dishes. No wonder. Oh, what about this? A dish of leftover Chinese food that has all kinds of yellow, blue, green, and white mold on it. Beautiful. That looks appetizing. Oh, wait. What about this, Mara? Some leftover chicken fingers that has been in here from, God, must be 6 months ago at least. Ugh. You've got to be kidding me, right? I'm not cleaning it up this time. You can. You can clean it all up and wash out the inside of the refrigerator. No, actually, scrub the inside of the refrigerator from God only knows what else. Because I just had my nails done and I'm not ruining them. And see.
Woo! Okay. So, last week we talked about, or 2 weeks ago, visualization.
Yeah.
Right? Visualizing some of those things. How'd you feel about that?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm a little nervous today.
Okay. So
I tried my best.
Okay, tell me about why. Tell me about the nerves. Where they come from?
Just because my mother-in-law is outside.
Ah, okay. So, what about that is making you nervous?
I don't know. I'm just like not super comfortable like performing, I guess, in front of like her and or like the in-laws or my husband. So
Okay. Why?
I don't know. I think because like I get like when I tell my parents or like my dad about it, like he didn't care about it, like or like yeah, whatever, you know. Or tell me like, oh, that's just ridiculous. So like I think like I don't know, I just keep acting as a secret, I guess. Usually like I don't feel comfortable like telling people that I want to be an actor. So
Okay.
yeah.
You ready to change that?
I am. I've been trying to. It's not easy, but
It's not
yeah.
easy. It's not easy. It's not. Because you're battling with the mind. It's really what
Yeah.
it is. You're battling with your own internal thoughts. So Matt talked about this in one of his mornings with Matt. So he talked about it. It was episode, I believe it was episode 2. So he was talking about the fact that somebody can speak something to us and we can take it however we want to take it. We decide how we want to take those things. So you don't need to accept any opinion anyone else gives you of yourself.
Right.
If you come in and you give your everything, you give it your all, and someone's like, meh, cool, that's on them. That's on them. If someone looks at you and goes, an actress, really? Like, okay. You're like, yeah, absolutely. You know, what's happening is you're letting other people's opinions of you affect you too much.
Yep, I know.
So that isn't an easy thing to beat. It's not, but it is a beatable thing. We will get there. And it's all head game. It's deciding for you. You know how much you love this. You know how much you want this. And again, tonight, this has sort of been a theme. It's step by step. So we recently got through the confidence factor of voice and starting to find that and being willing to express yourself in that way. It's the same idea. It's the fearlessness of throwing your voice out there. So now that we've conquered that, same fear is still there. We now need to conquer the fear and the worry of what somebody else thinks of me emotionally. What they think of my performance and the things I'm doing with my life. Release that. Release it. It shouldn't matter to you because you love this so much. It's just fun. It's just awesome. And, you know, it doesn't mean it's not going to hurt. It doesn't mean it's not going to, like, hit you. But you decide that those things don't have power over you. So Matt talks about this a lot. That's this bubble exercise. And so I'm sure when you come on Morning with Matt, you can talk about that with him, and he'll be able to help you through this. Because it is a journey. It's not something that happens in a day. And I know he has some great tips for you that would be able to help with this.
Okay.
So my advice is to get yourself, email over, and get yourself on there as soon as you can.
Okay.
And when you talk about, because this is part of it, and I'll tell everybody this in a second, where you're at, that should be a big part of what you talk about, is the struggle that you have, and get honest about it. And then Matt will dig right in deep and be able to give you some practical ways that you're going to be able to slowly start battling against that and get on the other side.
Okay.
Because I could spend time here, and I could sit and I'd go, hey, here's what we did the monologue here, and here's what we did that. But none of that matters. Because we both know it's not what it could have been because of that. And so that's what we need to work. So get yourself on the calendar. Get on it ASAP. I'm going to tell everybody how to do that when I bring everyone back in.
Okay.
I'm going to get you on right away. First open slot's going right here.
Okay.
And we're going to make it happen, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, and let's get through it together. Woo!
Thank you.
You're going to stay here. I'm going to bring everybody else back.
Okay.
But it could have been because of that. And so that's what we need. I could spend time here, and I could sit and I go, hey, here's what we did the monologue here, and here's what we did that. I'm going to mute everybody for a quick second. Could have been because of that.
Kitty cat. I like that.
Okay, so take a second for me. Make sure to mute all those live videos you guys have in the background. We're going to come back in here to close out our class. We'll wrap everything up from over here. Okay, I'm going to unmute everybody here in a second. So once I do that, just be aware of the space. Hi, Jake. And we'll go through that. Shay loves Brian's birthday. Okay. I forgot I did that. Okay, so be aware of your own sound. We are all in there now. Good, all the backgrounds are done. Hi, Shay.
Hi.
I'm going to wrap in a second, but I didn't know if you had anything that you wanted to say.
No, man. I just wanted to listen to your do your speech.
Love it. I love you.
Oh, right back at you, birthday boy. Dude, Brian is 46 today.
Shut your face. I am not 46. Do not.
Happy birthday to you. Cha cha cha. Happy birthday to you. Cha cha cha. Happy birthday, dear Brian. Cha cha cha. Happy birthday to you.
Oh.
Yo, our cameras are you guys.
Happy 46th birthday, Brian.
Thank you so much, Shay, for that. Yeah, go ahead and spread that rumor. That's awesome. I loved that Matt
Happy
and Joey
46th.
were delayed. That was great. The best part was like you guys would sing the happy birthday, and then 3 seconds later, Joey would. It was amazing.
Have you never heard of a reverb?
It was like reverb, 100%. No, thank you guys. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Joey.
It's the best sound is a reverb in a song if you do it correctly. And me and Matt, our voices are just, they're pretty good.
I would say you are pretty good also. I would use those exact words.
Pretty good.
Just kidding. So, guys, great work tonight. Everybody, all the way around the board. Thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause. So we had 2 weeks off, which would have been a very easy time to just take it easy. To like go off and do less. And it was clear to me through all of yours that we did the opposite of that. That we went in and we found times to work and we found things to make it happen, and it becomes clear in our performances. So I'll go back to Scotty's for a second. Like, the work that you did was so clear in the performance that you gave. It looked effortless, completely effortless. I felt like I was in there with you. And for all of us, the work that we start to do, when you put in the work speaks for itself. So we'll throw things at you. We'll throw ideas at you to work on these pieces, to work on life and growth in life. Matt will continue through the morning show to continue throwing out positivity and ways that you can literally change your life through changing certain habits and changing certain mindsets. But it's on you whether or not you act on those things.
Hey, it's okay.
Hey, kitty. And it was clear tonight a lot of you guys made that choice. We made the choice to act on them. So very, very good work. Thank you guys. I'm very excited. So next week we'll be continuing with these, and we'll do some stop and go next week dealing with the critiques we just worked. So work it like crazy this week. The final announcement is going to be about the morning show. So here's the way this works. It's every morning at 7 a.m. So to reach out to set it up, you can just reach out to me, Brian, Brian, at deeringstudio.com. Oh, thanks, Jay. You have the power to still do that. Appreciate that.
Wait, you can do that.
You can reach out to me through that, and then I will send you exactly what you need to be working on specifically. Basically, you would create where you're at right now with life, and then a few questions that you have. It's a personal development, self-growth show. We talk about acting as well because we connect into that, so you can have any acting question you have as well. But it's really to help you right now with your habits, your growth. How do you get help to take yourself to the next level, and what are the struggles you're going through right now with your motivation and with becoming that best person you want to be? So reach out. I will get you guys a slot, and then you can come and perform. Also, every single morning it's on at 7. So one of the best ways to learn, just like in class, is to watch. All the episodes are up, all the past ones. I highly, highly, highly recommend going back and watching them. Going back, I mentioned episode 2, and you'll hear some of the things that Matt says and talks about and go, wow, I can totally apply that. So that's the way we can learn and grow. Reach out to me. We would love to have you guys on the show with questions and anything that you guys have. Woo! Cool.
Hey.
Thank y'all. We are going to sign off, but just like at the end of class, you guys will have a little time to